To start us off, we will have an opening statement from our coach, Megan Griffith.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was, I thought, Wisconsin obviously is a very tough team. I think everybody playing this tournament is a great team, very well coached. And, I just say I was really proud of our team for executing our defensive scout pretty well. I think we made some mistakes, but, the rhythm of the game, I do think we dominated for the most part. And I just, I said we need to get used to these new WBIT balls, make some more free throws, right? Yeah, no, but we're happy to move on to the next round, and we're ready for Kansas or BYU.
Okay. Anything for that? Then we will have questions for our student athletes. And again, if you could wait for the microphone to come to you. You can go and bring that down. And then if you would, let us know which player you would like to ask the question of.
For any of the player, John Steppe, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, it seemed like you guys kind of really pulled away there in the second quarter. Kind of what especially was going right for you guys kind of at that point in the game?
I think we started getting stops at that point, and we know that defense fuels our offense, so we need stops in order to, get the ball on the other end and then execute our offense. So, I think just it started from getting stops and getting loose balls. That was a big thing for us, too. We were missing a bunch of those, so just grabbing onto those, being first to the ball, and getting every ball with two hands.
Go ahead.
You guys are mentioning the defense, but to hold them to, I think it's 50 points on 69 possessions. Kind of what was especially going right for you guys on that end? Obviously, an area of success throughout the season.
Yeah, we focus on defense a lot, such as building turkeys, which for us is 3 stops in a row. So just constantly communicating with each other on the defensive end, like talking early, is a big point of emphasis for us. And then ultimately, when they take a shot, we want wrapping up the rebounds, and then so we can go and execute on the other end, like Riley said.
Mia, would you like to respond to that?
Oh, wow.
I would say we also prepare very well for games. Our coaching staff make sure we know the other team inside out. So coming into the game, we're pretty confident knowing what they want to do and who they want to look for.
Any other questions in the room? Go ahead.
How do you feel like the dynamics of the game changed when they lost Kira Daniels there?
And let's start with Susie for this one.
Yeah, she's a big piece for her. We prepped for her a lot as well, and so we know how good she is. So they definitely had to rely more on other people, and I think that did work for them at times. But definitely, she's probably a huge missing piece for them. But yeah, we didn't let it affect us. Kept going. We know personnel for whoever stepped up next, so we were ready to go.
You have anything to say?
Yeah, I agree with Susie. That's a good point.
Yeah, like Sue said, obviously number 20 is a really good player, but we're focused on ourselves. I mean, what happens in the game happens. Can't control that. So just remaining focused on ourselves and not really paying attention to that. But yes, number 20 is a key player for them.
Any other questions in the room before we move to Zoom? No. We do have Gene Hatfield on Zoom if you have a question for a student athlete.
Yeah, hi everybody. Jen Hatfield with the 9 basketball. Riley, I guess I'll start with you on this one, but Mia and Susie, feel free to chime in too. On the offensive end, you guys hit a couple of threes early, but you also got 32 points on layups. So just curious, what you thought worked well in terms of being able to establish, your guys' offense everywhere on the court.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Jen. I would say that we are a pretty dynamic team, so leaning into that, not just settling for threes has been a big emphasis for us. Getting the ball inside, just diversifying that shot chart, because the threes aren't always going to fall, and we just need a combination of that inside presence as well as the outside, and then when the threes are falling, it's really great.
Okay, we'll stick with Zoom with Rob Brown. Rob Brown, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Thanks. Rob Brown, Ivy Hoops Online. Congratulations, everyone. Great game. I want to start Mia. Really important play with about 6+ minutes to go. They've got the game down to 8 points, and they've got the ball. Can you kind of walk us through that possession where you ended up stripping the ball and getting it over to Susie?
Yes. I think I remember what play you're talking about, and just grabbing the ball with 2 hands. I heard someone from our bench yelling, 2 hands, because I was trying to dribble it out. So then I got the ball to Suze, my girl. And then I think Nasi got the and one. Is that possession?
No, he said Suze.
But I got the ball. Wait.
It's all right. Don't worry. It's just Mia's.
Mia's right.
She's new to
All
all
right,
this.
all right.
It's okay. We're embracing it all for her.
Yeah, so.
Thanks, Rob, for the
Yeah,
question.
thanks, Rob.
Okay. Rob, do you have another question?
Yeah, I do. Susie, when I was watching the Harvard-Wisconsin game, I kind of thought it was like, wow, I've seen this game before 3 times over between you and Harvard, where it's more of a rock fight. How important was it for you guys to not get in that kind of a game today and dictate the tempo?
Yeah, I mean, coming into today's game and just this tournament in general, like dominance is a big thing for us. So like setting the tone like that and not letting it get to the third, fourth quarter like we usually get with Harvard, where it's back and forth. So just like really establishing that from the beginning and then carrying it on throughout the game, if not amping it up even more, is definitely key for us.
We have another question on Zoom from Jen again.
Hi, thanks. Mia, for you, just curious with Fliss and Maria out of the lineup, like, and you and Riley handling the ball a lot together in that starting lineup. Curious to hear your thoughts on kind of the partnership and chemistry you have playing with Riley in that lineup in this tournament, not just today, but throughout the WBIT.
Yeah, Riley's so fun to play with. She kind of does everything for us offensively. She's our mind, so Coach Yu puts a lot of pressure on her to be a point guard, even though she's scoring all of our points as well. So just knowing that that's someone I can always go to when I'm trying to run the offense. I see that I almost had a triple-double today with these turnovers, so that's cool. But, yeah, Riley just got my back always. So I know that even though I might be bringing the ball up a lot, I can always check in with her, like, what play are we running and stuff like that. So thanks, Riley.
Awesome. And then just Mia and Susie, I know you guys have seen Riley hit a ton of really tough shots, but when she nailed that one from the logo late in the fourth with the shot clock winding down, just curious what was running through your head on that one.
I knew that was in.
Yeah. I mean, I was waiting to sub in and I saw it go up and I was like, that's good. And I think I literally like jumped up as well on the side. But yeah, no, that's what Riley does. So yeah, no surprise there for us.
Yeah, no surprise.
Thank you.
Okay, in front of the Zoom, our final question for student athlete. We'll go back to Rob.
Thanks, Coach. I don't know if you can hear me. If you could talk a little bit about Hilka, obviously her game today and her development, but also how much of a help was she in the Scouts since she played with Robin for 2 years?
You're asking me, Rob, this is for the student athletes still. Do you want one of them to answer?
Oh,
They can
yeah,
answer this question. I feel confident with one.
Okay,
Susie,
sure,
go for
why
it.
not?
I mean, yeah, first of all, on Hilka's growth and development, like she's come stride since she joined us and we're so happy to have her as well. So like she made great plays today and just in this tournament in general. So really happy for her to have stepped up and into a starting role too. So she's been amazing. And in terms of the scout, I mean, obviously there's some things that carry over, but again, our coaches do a great job preparing us. So them two working together, like the rest of our staff, like we felt more than confident and prepared to go today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have any other questions in the room for our student athletes? If not, we'll dismiss them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get away from me.
Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Okay, with that, we're going to open it up in the room first for questions for Coach.
John, let's go, buddy.
Let's go on the
Yeah, I love it.
So, John Seppi, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Same thing that I asked them in terms of defense, to hold them to 50 points on 69 possessions. Kind of, obviously, they've gone up against other
Yeah.
defensive teams that didn't have quite
sure.
so low numbers. What was it that you guys were able to especially do to just keep them out of rhythm?
Yeah, I think, it starts with point of attack, and that's Mia and Perry, and so many possessions for us, whether it's our press or just our half-court defense. And I just loved the way that they've been approaching the game and pressuring the ball. I mean, I think all of the opponents, and this is a large credit to Mia because Perry's obviously been in this role all season. Mia and even Nasi Simmons coming off the bench, they just put so much pressure on you to enter the offense that, like, everything was just, like, a little tougher for them, right? Forcing them off catch points, making them catch out of rhythm, also arriving on the catch. That's something that we really talk a lot about. I just think, again, like, we're just following Perry's lead, and Mia's been a huge, like, assist just in terms of being inserted in the starting lineup and doing what she does well. So I would just say that breeds a lot of confidence in everybody else around the ball that, if I'm recovering, I can get there in time. Or, hey, let's change this out on the backside because I have time now. So I would just say that we've really bought into that, like, team identity of, like, hey, we're going to pressure you and we're going to make everything difficult.
Wisconsin cuts it to 8 there. And kind of what were you seeing during that run that they had from them that maybe you didn't see earlier, and kind of how did you like kind of how your players responded there?
Yeah, I mean, they have some great players that can make shots. Like I've seen number 1 hit a ton of shots. I've seen obviously 20, 24. She got going a little bit earlier in the game, but they hit. Number 1 hit a couple shots, and I think for us it was just like it brought them confidence, and then for you it's like, oh well, like that was a tough shot, right? So I do think we were running at the ball a little bit. Mia made some like choice decisions, I would say, in transition, but then recovered from them with hit Hilka, Susie, Riley, all these chase down blocks. So it was just nice to see us all have each other's backs in those moments, and I think that's what honestly got us over that hump. But that's a good team that's going to make shots, and I think our response was good after they went on that little bit of a run, which I can't even remember what it was, whether it was a 6 or 8 point run, but it was just really good for us to respond. And that was the thing that we talked a lot about, was like, can our responses be elite? The mistake happens, but can our responses be elite? And I thought Mia, Hilka, Suze, Perry, and Riley did a great job of that.
With the 16 layups that you guys had, kind of, was there something in particular you saw that you could kind of exploit with Wisconsin's defense?
Well, I mean, I think some of them too were like runouts. Like we had some like transition possessions. We were able to just get out in front of the pack, changing possessions or changing from offense to defense, defense to offense. We talk about can we be great in transition moments, whatever that is. The rebound to the outlet to the run to the hit ahead. So I just think our team has done a great job at like prioritizing that. And then also, I thought Susie was enormous in the third quarter. I think she went on her own little like 6-0 run. And that's the beauty of this team is like, Perry wasn't necessarily feeling 100% today. So we were able to go to Susie because of the way they were guarding her as well. And it's like, all right, if they're going to drop, we got to go to you. Let's screen her. Let's get this player off you a little bit and then just go to work. So in credit to our team for delivering the right pass as well. But I thought we had them in scramble mode quite a lot today.
You guys, have beat some, power conference schools. Kind of what do you think it says about the strength of you guys and, the strength of the Ivy, to reach this point?
Yeah, I mean, there's no secret. Like when I got hired, when our athletic director who's here hired me 10 years ago, I told him that I wanted to be a top 25 program and I wanted to be one of the best teams in the country. And I think we're there. I think we've gotten there over the last 5 years. I think we still have some more work to do. Obviously we all the teams here want to be playing in the NCAA tournament, but hey, we've reset. We're in a new season. We want to go win this thing on on Wednesday. But I just think that we've got some great coaches in our league. We've got some great players. That's the beauty of recruiting to a school like Columbia University in the best city in the world. We have so much to offer. I have such an elite coaching staff that we've been able to retain here. And I've never had a player transfer to another Division I school in 10 years. So I would just say, like, I think we're doing something right here, but, I wouldn't be able to do that without the support of our administration. So I would just say, thank you to Peter, obviously, but, we have a lot of work to do to be that top 25 program and consistently show up in the tournament.
Any other questions in the room? If not, we're going to go to Zoom with Jen.
Hey, Meg. Just to start with Riley, curious how you kind of think about her evolution from a player who at the beginning of the year you were trying to, get her to diversify her game, and now she's kind of the point guard for you in a lot of ways right now, and just her growth to be able to be someone that you can call on in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I like to say to our players, all of them, and I think Perry's a perfect example of this as well, is just if you decide not to put limitations on yourself and you make that choice, which it's a choice. I do believe that. We all are blessed with certain different qualities and tools naturally, but I said to Riley, like, if you want to be the best, you can be the best. It's just a matter of the choices that you decide to make and taking care of yourself, getting yourself as physically and mentally, emotionally ready. But then also just trusting the system and trusting me. I think that's a big part of it, is when you want the people that dominate the ball to be able to make the most decisions that are in line with your game plan. So I would just say a huge credit to Riley for trusting me in her growth process. And she's, since year one to now, just a completely different human that plays with so much toughness, so much passion, and love for this team. So, the best of her is yet to come. I can say that very confidently.
And then, I know you'll say job's not done here, but just to think back to the semifinals of Ivy Madness and how you felt like the team was, maybe not responding to the pressure in the way you wanted, and to see them grow into this version where they're advancing to the championship game and playing like the freer version of themselves. How rewarding is that for you as a coach, just to see that process over the past however many weeks that's been?
Yeah, I mean, I'll celebrate that on Wednesday, but right now, for me, it's a matter of keeping this team locked in the same vision, in the same boat, rowing in the same direction, and that's something that you do lose sight of from time to time. But I would just say the thing I'm the most proud of is how they've leaned into trusting each other. It's one thing to trust me, which I do think this team does, but to trust each other to make decisions and to trust Mia, who has played in a large scoring role for us, but not as a primary ball handler, to trust Hilka to be back into the lineup. Like, talk about a player-led program. That's the thing that's changed since the Ivy League tournament, is they're deciding that this is their team, this is their mission. It's not just the mission that we said, hey, we're setting out on. But, when Perry said it in her post-game presser, I mean, everybody just bought into that, and I think they're really breeding that within the team that, we're in control here.
Just as a real quick follow-up, because trusting someone to step into that big role isn't automatic. Does it start with one person or two people and then bleed down? Do you say anything? Do you just let it happen organically? What's that kind of behind the scenes, you think?
It's a lot, Jen. It's a lot of conversations. It's long bus rides back from Ithaca. No, I'd say that... honestly, I would think the thing that has empowered me the most are Maria and Fliss, which is talk about humility and amazing teammates. I mean, they're still we have something where there are point guards, right? So they text me every day before games and, hey, what are we running, coach? This is the game plan. And they've invited their teammates into that space, So now my point guard meetings are with Mia and Nasi and Perry and Riley and those two. And Maria's watched 3 Wisconsin games just to get play calls, 2 days ago. So it's just, I would just say that they've done the work of the mind of the point guard so that Mia can go be the point guard on the court, and they've just, poured confidence into her decision. So huge credit to those two.
Great, thank you. Gonna need a bigger meeting for those rooms.
I know, that's why we do them in our little meeting spaces now.
That will continue with Zoom with Rob. Rob, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Yep, thanks. Coach, you and Jen kind of led me into this. Perry obviously comes out of that Friday night game. We're going to win the WBIT. I don't know if you had that exact same thought at that moment. When did you finally figure or realize this team has the mental toughness to take it this far into the tournament?
During the St. John's game. That's when I realized it. You never know how a team turns a page until you see them against another team, an opponent. And, practices, I would say 80% of our practices, we call them zeros or ones. I think we've had a lot of ones this year, and we've minimized the zeros. But for me, it was can we turn the page and go dominate an opponent now, right after that, right? Because there's so much heartbreak after that game, right? To lose the 4th championship and then to lose the Ivy League tournament and the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament was absolutely gutting for everybody in the program. So I would just say that their response, when I saw the ball tip and I saw the way we attacked that game, I knew there was no turning back.
And walk us through, I guess, the preparation over the next 48 hours for either of those two teams.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go watch this game right now. It's the beauty of being in this tournament. We have a live scout, so we get to go see 2 great teams battle it out against each other. We get a little bit more rest than them, so I'm happy about that. Our players are going to go back to the hotel after they watch a little bit, rest, recover. We'll do scouting tonight, some film, get them to bed early. And then tomorrow is just a lot of preparation, meetings, a lot of walkthrough. Just get us feeling as confident and fresh as possible.
Okay. Want to thank Coach.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.